this video is about memory. So we've briefly talked about memory cells, but we didn't really focus on them. And this kind of links us really nicely to when we start talking about vaccines. But I want to introduce it in the form of natural immunological memory. Whew. All right. So this is a classic graph that we use. So when we talk about immunological memory, it's got to do with the fact that the second time you're exposed to something, the faster your response is going to be. So you can see here is the first response to an antigen, first exposure to an antigen right here. So this might be when you are exposed to COVID-19. Yeah, and I'm going to use COVID because why not? It's why it's here for us. So we'd say you get exposed to coronavirus, but you don't get sick straight away. And this is what we are talking about. This is why it's so dangerous that we keep up our hand hygiene, because you might not know you are sick for a number of days. Because what has to happen is this period here. Now, this period here is where you get the pathogen is dividing, yeah, but it's not causing damage to your cells yet. So the pathogen is dividing, but not causing damage. Now, what's also happening is your B plasma cells are responding, but what did I say about B plasma cells? They are slow. Yeah, so they're responding, but they're responding quite slowly. So what this graph is actually showing us is how much antibody is being produced over time. So you won't produce antibodies for several days until after infection. Okay, so you'll get infected. It'll start to rapidly divide in your body. Your B plasma cells will get activated and start to divide, but they're not fast. So it's going to take a number of days to start that response. Now, eventually, and by this stage, you're probably feeling sick, you start to get an increase in antibodies just here. Can you see this increase in antibodies? And what happens is you fight off the infection, the antibody levels go down as you fight off the infection, and then we're all good. Okay, so we're all happy, we're all asymptomatic again, and we don't have the virus or the pathogen. Now, the second time you get exposed, okay, if you get exposed really quickly, so say you got exposed at this green point over here, then chances are this response would just happen and you would just get this massive increase and you would not experience symptoms. But more likely than not, you're going to get better. Your antibody levels will drop. Now this time, so this is time on the x-axis, it's very variable depending on the pathogen, variable to pathogen. And we don't know about it in terms of COVID at the moment. So we don't know how long it's going to take for these antibody levels to drop. So say you got exposed again, have a look at how fast this is. There is no delay now. Okay, there is no delay or no or little delay. What we get, and I'm going to use a different color because it's not going to stand out if I use orange. Okay, what we get here is a faster and stronger antibody response. Because you've been previously exposed, you get this faster response. Now, if you get this faster response, what's going to happen is you are therefore unlikely to show symptoms. So in this case, the pathogen dividing up the top here, these ones over here, this orange stuff, you will get symptoms because there's too many pathogens. Pathogen dividing and causing symptoms, and the B plasma cells are responding slowly. The second time you get exposed, you get this faster and stronger antibody response, therefore you're unlikely to show symptoms because your body is getting rid of it faster. And so this is what you need to put in your notes on page 17. In the first exposure to the pathogen, your body mounts a slow immune response. The antibodies are produced after a delay and they're not as high in numbers, and so you tend to feel sick. Okay? The second time, because you now have B memory cells, okay, they can recognize foreign antigens faster and they go bang, let's switch on. So these memory cells get this rapid production of B plasma cells and rapid production of B plasma is what should be written, plasma, oh, sorry girls, B plasma and of antibodies. And therefore you fight it off before you come back and get symptoms. And that's what we're going to come back to when we talk about vaccines next year.